Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's do this. I am talking about a type of question which are the inference question that everybody is kind of scared about. Unnecessarily, we are scared. This is a harmless type of question. But there are a lot of confusions revolving around these inference questions. So my objective is to remove that confusion. Now, I'm not going to pick up huge passages. I'll probably pick up short passages like critical reasoning type just to help you understand that the inference question is actually very manageable. Right. So let's get this started. I think the first thing is to understand there are a lot of different ways in the question can be framed. I mean, one is the simple framing that which of the following can be inferred from the passage above, or each of the following can be inferred except, or you could simply say which of the following follows logically. That could be another way to say it. Or if the above statements are true, which of the following must also be true. And then there are these sort of a weird way of saying the same thing. Which of the following is most strongly supported by the information above. It's saying by the information above. Information above supports the answer choice, which means the answer choice has to be an inference. The statement above, if true, most strongly support which one of the following. Right? It is not the answer choice supporting the information, but the information supporting the answer choice. All of these are inferences. Right? Now the question is, what is inference? Now if you go to dictionary, or this is vocabulary.com, what it said is something that is inferred. Nice. Deduce. Entailed, implied, deduce, logically you can draw something, entail, something that is necessary for that statement to make sense. For example, if I'm telling someone go home, what is necessary for that statement to make sense is that person has a home to go to. That's probably what that means. Implied, something that is not explicit. Or maybe the reasoning involved in drawing a conclusion or making a logical judgment on the basis of circumstantial evidence and prior conclusion rather than based on direct observation. Now, inference is simply about, I've got certain information in front of me. From that information, I'm deducing certain things. Now, I could deduce bad, I could make bad inferences, I could make good inferences, I could make any kind of inferences, absolutely stupid inferences. Right? I could. But what the passage is asking you to do is to make proper inference. So let's just forget about all these definitions. And a lot of people are even go by saying that inference cannot be explicitly mentioned. No. Let's remove all definition, throw it away. Let's keep this absolutely simple. Okay. I'm going to let's look at these two statements. A is greater than B. Statement number 2 is B is greater than C. Okay. What can you draw? You're saying, okay, obviously I could say that A is greater than C. You could combine these two statements together and pull and say that A is greater than or equal to C. Okay, I could. But there are a lot many things I could deduce from here. I could just look at the first statement alone and then say that, okay, B is less than A. I could even deduce from this first statement alone that A is not equal to B. I could deduce from this statement alone that C is greater than B. I could deduce that C is not equal to B. Therefore, from this particular statement also, I can further deduce that A is not equal to C. All these can be deduced. What does that mean? So, it simply means that these are things, ladies and gentlemen, which is that. Let me write it again. All these are simply statement which is this. All these are statements which are true based on the information that is given here. So, the simple way to look at inference is something that is true. That's it. I mean, don't break your head thinking that whether it's implicit, explicit, entailment, deducement. We'll keep our life very simple. The simple thing to look at, ladies and gentlemen, is to simply say that I would want to figure out a statement which is true. That's it. That's all. That is all. That's it. Okay. For example, let's read this statement or this short argument. This says recent research indicates that increased consumption of fruits and vegetable by middle-aged people reduces their susceptibility to stroke in later years. The researchers speculate that this may be because fruit and vegetables are rich in folic acid. Low levels of folic acid are associated with high levels of homocysteine, an amino acid that contributes to block arteries. Okay, a lot of information that is given here. So if I look at this one sort of mathematically, I'd say, let me use logically. The first thing that is given is increased consumption of fruit and vegetable. If you have a lot of fruit and vegetable for middle-aged people, so let's say middle-aged people, okay, they reduce susceptibility to stroke in the later years. What this means that this is kind of stroke will be reduced. They are kind of inversely proportional. Then he says that because fruit and vegetables are rich in folic acid, fruit and vegetable has got a lot of folic acid. Right, so that's what that statement says. Then this statement says low level of folic acid. If folic acid is low, associated with high levels of homocysteine, homocysteine is high, and the amino acid that contributes to block arteries. So this block arteries. Block arteries, which then mean that there is a stroke. We can combine these two together, everything. So for example, if stroke is low, then fruit and vegetable is high. Inverse of stroke is high. I can just combine and add maybe this information here. Okay, so just that same thing. If it's high, it's low. Therefore, if this is high, then that has to be low. That's a simple one. So then you can draw a lot of inference in terms of, for example, you could say this and this are inversely proportional. These two are directly proportional. This and this is inversely proportional. And we could make all these, I would say, inferences. Something that is revealed to be true based on the information that is given to us, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Now, if I create some answer choices, right? If you create some answer choices, which of the following is most strongly supported? In your mind and thinking, I've been given some information. All I need is these from this information, I'm looking at something that is true. That's it. That's all. That's it. When you are given a passage, right, you're looking at the passage, and passage is the only thing that you have and nothing else you have. You're looking at what is true. So let's look at what the first one says. Increased risk of stroke, okay, this means that our stroke is correlated with low levels of homocysteine. Cysteine. I'm going to call it HS. I don't know why I call it cysteine. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, low. Which means this suggests that these are inversely proportional. But those are directly proportional. Those are directly proportional, not inversely proportional. So, ladies and gentlemen, high levels of homocysteine contributes to block arteries. So there is a direct relationship. So this has to be wrong, definitely wrong, absolutely wrong. A distinct risk of stroke is correlated with increased level of folic acid. Okay, what does that mean? For folic acid and stroke has got inversal proportionality. Perfect. True. This must be our answer. This should be true. We can check for the other. An increased propensity of block arteries is correlated with a decreased level of homocysteine. Is it inversely proportional? These block arteries? No. They are directly proportional. So that can't be true. Can't be true. Decreased propensity of block arteries is correlated with low levels of folic acid. Are they directly proportional? BA and FA? No, FA and B are inversely proportional. That's it. So I'm just showcasing this question just to get this in your head, right? So don't bother about what is inference, hidden meaning. We have to take it out. It is somewhere inside. I have to do some operation. I have to do something to take. No, you treat inference as something that is true. Now that inference need to be deduced. You're basically trying to, for example, this one you've got stroke, which is here, and you've got folic acid, which is there, and it is obviously not explicitly mentioned, but this can be deduced. But whether it is explicitly mentioned or implicitly mentioned, you don't bother. What you eventually look at in inference question is to simply say that which of the following is true. So inference, for all practical purpose, we'll say something true revealed by the passage. The passage reveals this to be true. That's it. Don't think of this as something that is true but hidden in the passage. No, don't think of that way. Forget. I think this word hidden, inference has to be hidden. I mean, that is a problematic way. Then every time we start saying, oh, is it there in the passage? Is it hidden? This is not hidden. Is it there? If something is true, based on the information that is given to us, and that is inference for us. That's all. Okay, let's look at some 4 questions. Let's look at this question, right? The recent outbreak of a rare blood disease is very worrisome. Okay, somebody is very unhappy, very worried about what? An outbreak of a rare blood disease. And now he's saying because. And he's giving a reason. The reason is it is not known what causes it. We don't know what causes it. More researchers are suspecting that depletion of hormone thyroxine in the brain contributes to contracting the disease. Okay, these are things that people are suspecting. So they are basically suspecting that, look, maybe this is contributes to the contracting disease. Then he says, yet, however, the precise nature of relations between thyroxine and depletion of the disease is difficult to discern at the present. So we don't know. We don't know. It is difficult. The relation between thyroxine and depletion is difficult. It is important to note, however, most people who suffer even the most severe thyroxine depletion do not contract the disease. Okay, simple thing. A simple idea given to us, it's fine. Which of the following is most supported by the information given above? So all I'm saying that which of the following, basically said which of the following is true based on the information that is given above. That's all. This most supported is true. Simple. Okay. Thyroxine depletion is known to contribute to contracting common blood diseases. Okay, first of all, nobody has any discussion about these common blood diseases. Nobody has done any discussion what is going on here. We are talking about a rare blood disease. There also, we are not sure whether thyroxine has any relationship with that the disease, right? Content the disease. So first of all, this is enough for us to say that this has not been discussed, because I want to look at something that is true. Now, this I'm not too sure. Right. Thyroxine depletion is not the sole factor in contracting the rare blood disease. Yes, this makes it. It's not the sole factor. This is something that I'm sure is absolutely revealed by the information that is given, because most of the people don't get this disease. It is difficult to discern whether there is a precise nature of this disease. So I think we can definitely say it is not the sole factor. There could be something else. So this is what the passage is revealing to us. This must be the answer. Let's look at C. The more severe thyroxine depletion is, the less likely a person to contract the rare disease. What kind of relationship is that the more severe? So we don't know at what level of thyroxine depletion is less likely. The precise nature of the relationship we don't even know. Thyroxine depletion does not contribute to most cases of So this is kind of a twisted version of what is given here. It says that most people who suffer from thyroxine disease do not contract the disease. So only very few people probably contract the disease. Correct? But in that disease, there can still be majority. Okay, majority could come from there. In that set is different set. So if let's say there are 10 people having the disease, right? Let's say out of these 100 who have got this thyroxine, maybe let's say about 7 of them get it. But if the 7 goes here of the 10, that can still be most. So this is something that we can't say for certainty, but we can say for certainty that answer choice B is absolutely certain. That's it. We are looking at something that is true based on the information given in the passage. I'm probably in the next sort of video, I'll pick up a CAT passage and show that this inference question is something that you should not be worried about. Okay, let's look at this one. Now, the largest group of people receiving a certain antidepressant drug are considered only mildly depressed, a condition that typically goes away on its own within 6 months. So, a largest group of people who are taking this antidepressant drug, the certain, are considered only mildly depressed. They are just mildly depressed. A condition that typically goes away in its own. It goes away on its own. On the other hand, the drug takes that long before there is any noticeable improvement in the patient's outlook. In addition, the drug occasionally has some severe side effects. Right. So that is simple information that is given to us. The statement above, if true, most strongly support which of the following. We are just looking at which of the following is true. That's it. Our idea is to look at out of these four answer choice which is true. First of all, only. I can see the word most. I can see the word never. For those of us who have seen the video that I talked about, how questions are created, what are the traps, I would have, these are all extreme words. I think it's all over. It's over only. We can check. The drug is effective only for treating severe depression. Why? No. Time is the most effective healer of mild depression. Time is the most effective. There is no nothing, no. All we are saying that it will typically goes away within 6 months. We can't say it is the most effective way. The drug is dangerously ineffective and should never taken by a person who suffer from depression. First of all, this never is too extreme. Second of all, this we are talking about mildly depressed people. Mildly depressed. This you are taking it too broad. The dustbin choices. We have to pick answer choice number D. Allowing a mild depression to go away untreated is usually as effective as using the drug. Makes a lot of sense. In which case, typically goes away on its own within 6 months. And the drug also takes too long for any improvement. So even if you take the drug or if we don't treat it, the impact is going to be more or less the same. Absolutely true. That's it. Now, this is not obviously explicitly mentioned here, but from this statement here, we can definitely say that this statement has to be true. Two more. Let's look at this. Over the last 30 years, Flange Incorporated has been praised for socially progressive treatment of its employees and for the very ethical treatment of both its customers and its suppliers. Wow, nice, good. Until recently, it had experienced remarkable growth and sustained high profits. In the last 5 to 10 years, however, its market share has dropped dramatically. It has suffered significant operating losses, and for the first time, it has laid off many employees. Which of the following is most strongly? Which of the following is true? What do you think? Between A, B, C, D. Okay. If you actually look at this statement, this is talking about one company, right? Which is this one company, which is our Flange Incorporated. That company is so socially progressive and ethical. Okay, there is one company. In that one company, it had initially had such a remarkable growth and high profit, but currently it is that has the market share dramatically dropped, which means it has gone down and it had losses. We are talking about this one company. But when you look at these answer choices, the answer choices is making a broader statement here: ethically and socially progressive corporate behavior. Ethically and socially progressive corporate behavior. Corporation. You have for a corporation. Okay. You have these answer choices taking something very broad. Now, in itself, I cannot take the experience of one and sort of one company and make a huge generalization which is true for all the companies, which I can't. For example, look at answer choice number A. Ethically and socially progressive behavior usually encourages growth and profitability. No, what do you mean usually? We just know about Flange Incorporated. I can't say it, but usually one company, that means that, okay, one person saw my video and did well. Huh. Gejo sir's video are usually amazing. No, one person. We only have information about one person. We don't know about the rest. We can't say this. Okay. While B is different. Ethically and socially progressive corporate behavior does not guarantee. This is good. Does not guarantee growth and profitability. Now, what does guarantee mean? When you look at the word guarantee means it happens always. It happens 100% of the time. So, that these statements, guarantees growth and profitability means it happens 100% of the time. If I say that my sessions guarantees an admission to the top B school, that means it happens 100% of the time. To negate that, one incident of negation is enough. I know for a fact that for this organization, Flange Incorporated, which was ethically and socially progressive, they had a dramatic decrease in market share and operating losses. Therefore, I can say with 100% certainty, there is no guarantee here because one person failed. Absolutely true. Now look at answer choice number C. It is extremely difficult for a corporation. First of all, we went into corporation. We have moved. This is looking at a socially progressive and ethical corporation. On top of it, we have taken it to a corporation. To maintain growth and profit in 30 years, we just don't want company. Why was it extremely difficult for corporation in general? Too broad. In the face of shrinking market share, operating losses, a corporation has no choice but lay off. This guy laid off employees. This one company did it. How can he then take it to the entire corporation? And every corporation has to do that. General statement. No. All these are wrong. I'm making very, very broad claims. And answer choice is B. Let's look at one more. Now, this may be little bit of painful. You could just pause and solve it, right, yourself. This is a good one. If you can get this answer, it'll be awesome. But mostly I'm guessing that you will do elimination. But let's see. Right. A fascinating question in chess history concerned the relative strength of champions from different period. There is an old period and those period. How do we look at, there is one person here, there is another person here. How do I know that who is better? In case of Garry Kasparov, a champion of 1990s, and Bobby Fischer, a champion 20 years earlier. Okay, so there is, let's say, in 1990s, which is, let's say, now, we have got Garry Kasparov, and 20 years earlier, which probably will become 1970, we had this Bobby Fischer. Okay, what is the relative strength? Who is better? Who is better? Either the argument says this issue can be reasonably settled. Look at this concept. We're saying reasonably. Reasonably settled. Okay. Fischer attained the crown by beating Boris Spassky. So this Fischer has beat this guy, Boris Spassky. This is the guy who lost. The preceding champion by very nearly the same score by which Kasparov beat his opponent Nigel Short. Now Kasparov beat his opponent Nigel Short. Okay, and the scores are the same. Okay, then he says, but Spassky is generally acknowledged to have a much stronger play than Short, but Spassky is much more stronger than Short. Okay, now this is saying that this issue can be reasonably settled, which means we can understand who is better. So what do you think? Combine all this together. What would make sense? So we can settle this. Who is better? Is it Fischer or Garry Kasparov? They had these two opponents, and the scores are same, but this opponent much stronger than the opponent that Garry Kasparov faced. So you're basically making a judgment that probably Fischer is more stronger than Garry Kasparov. Correct? Now, if you get this logic, you can see C. At least one earlier player, at least one, in this case Fischer, was stronger, okay, than one of the best players of the 1990s. champion of 1990. Who is a champion? Champion is the best player, one of the best players. Those are called champion. This is the champion 1990, Gary Kasparov. That would be your answer. But I don't know whether we can nail this, but we can easily eliminate. Fisher and Kasparov are approximately equally strong players. No, we have settled. The issue is settled. One person has beaten a guy who is stronger. A stronger opponent. The best. Way to determine strength out of power is to assess strength of it. But the best. Extreme word. If two champions became champions winning by significantly different margin, then one is probably stronger than other. We don't know. It's saying same scores. From here, you can't say that if there are different scores, one is absolutely stronger than another. We can't say this. This is not true based on information that is given. C is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you see with respect to inferences, it is just that we'll have to probably connect some two things together to arrive at the answer. That's it. So, that's all. But please understand that inferences is something that is absolutely true based on the information given in the passage. That's it. Now, if you comprehend the passage well, you'll be able to get this inference, right? Having this basic understanding of what inference is, something that is true, that's it, something that is true based on information given in the passage. We will, in the next session, we will look at a passage which has got these inference questions, right? I have not touched, there are other kind of questions, author agree, disagree question, but we'll do all that by picking up a CAT passage next time we meet. Till then, goodbye.